Here comes my next meal in a Mylar bag. And what we're going to do today is Mongolian beef. And we're going to make a whole meal in a Mylar bag out of it. So, I'll go through the list of ingredients, and you can get the quantities and the process at www.johnandbibs.com, where I'll put the recipe. What I have there is 2 pounds of strip steak cut up in slices, some beef broth, some green onions, broccoli spears, some carrots, some brown sugar, some garlic, and some ginger. And we'll top it off with a little bit of sesame seeds. So, I've been letting this soak in soy sauce for about a half an hour or so, I would imagine. So, what we would normally do is stir fry that with oil, but we're not going to use oil because we're freeze drying. So let's put this in the frying pan. Alright. I'm going to pour some of that soy sauce in there just for some moisture to cook that with. We're going to put this on high, and we are going to cook the meat. I got the soy sauce here. If it starts drying out too much, I'll just add a little more soy sauce. Okay, let's get this cooked up. Okay, that's been going for a few minutes, and I can still see a little bit of pink in there, so it's not cooked all the way through, and that's about right. So now we'll add our ginger and our garlic. Let that continue cooking. Okay, I let that garlic cook in there for about 2 minutes. While that meat is cooking, now we'll pour in our beef stock, 2 cups, and put our sugar in there. 1/4 cup, or 1/2 cup of packed brown sugar. While that's coming to a boil, I'm going to make a little slurry of cornstarch. I don't know, about 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. Add a little water to that. I'm just going to make a paste out of that. I'll go ahead and throw this rest of this soy sauce in there too. Okay, that's getting ready to come to a boil here. I can see that. So let's put our slurry in there. Give that a stir. I might have to put more in there. I don't know. We'll cook this for a little bit and see if it thickens up. Alright. That thickened up a little bit. We're going to put this on medium-low. We're going to add our carrots and our broccoli. Now I'm going to cover that. We're going to let that simmer for about 5 minutes until those vegetables are soft. Let's see how that's doing. Yep, they're kind of getting soft there. Taste the carrot. Carrot's not quite there yet. I am going to leave that off because I want that to thicken up a little bit more. That was 5 minutes, so let's give it another 5 minutes. And I did put that up on medium. So now I'm going to put in my onions, and we'll put some sesame seeds in there. Give that a little mix. Turn off the heat. And we are going to call that good. Well, I wish you could smell this. That smells good. Now we could make that a little bit thicker, but I think since we're going to freeze dry it anyway, we'll just leave it like that. Alright, let's load up our tray, see what we get. I think what I'll try to do is put all this in here, and I'll put that juice in a separate tray, and we can split that up after it's freeze dried. Now I'm going to use these brand new covers that I got and give them a try. They snap on so nice. I can stick that in the freezer right now, and I don't have to worry about nothing, no contaminants getting in there or anything. And they got stackers, so I can, if I had a stack here, I could stack them, take them all over there. I am really impressed with these. I might have to do a video on just these. There you have it. Into the freezer it goes. Next time you see it, it'll be coming out. What I'll do with this is I'll pour this into my half tray, and then we'll just divide it up, powderize all this, and then divide it into the pouches when we're done. Okay, hello everyone. This is my next load out of the freeze dryer. It's my Mongolian beef. And earlier in the video you might have seen me put a big "do not do this" sign over my sauce that I poured separately because it exploded. Now I'm going to try and salvage that, but because I want that flavor. But it did reach all the way up to the hot pad above it, so you might want to reconsider doing it that way. Oddly enough, the juice that was in with the beef didn't really explode that much, so it might have been better to use 2 trays with the beef and add a little bit more sauce to the beef. I don't know why that worked that way, but that seems to be the way it did. Now I don't know if I'm going to be able to salvage this or not, because I don't know what the center of it's going to be, but what we're going to do is put it in this bag, and in a minute I'll try and turn that to powder. I want to keep the moisture out, air moisture out of that while I package this. So we got 8 egg rolls. So I'm going to use these. It's a bit overdoing it, but I don't have a smaller bag, and I want to use a nice thick one to try and keep the integrity of the egg roll. So as always, in these I package it, I Ziplock it shut to keep it from the room moisture, and then I'll go back once I get everything packaged, open them up, put an O2 absorber in them so my O2 absorbers aren't exposed for an extended period of time. It just kind of saves on my O2s. Okay, that's the egg rolls put away. Now I want to kind of split this up into 8s. I want 8 portions. That tastes good. Alright, so let's get this bagged up. Again, I'm using the same meal pouch bag. These bags I got from Top Mylar, and they're called meal bags. I use the small ones. They make a bigger one as well. Okay, now for the pudding. Pudding works better if it's reconstitutes much better if it's powderized. So I am going to powderize this, and then we'll weigh it and divide that by 8, and then put that much in each pouch. 42 grams per envelope. Alright, so tear that. Alright, let me find something to scoop that out with. Now I got these bags from, I think pack fresh. I don't remember what the size is, but it's an 8-inch by 5-inch, and they're about 5 mil, which is all right for cold stuff. If I was doing hot water in these, I'd want a thicker pouch. All right, let's see if this goes to a pouch. Now, originally, I had planned on putting this powder in with the beef, but some might ask why I'm doing the noodles separately. It's because I think they might reconstitute separately from the vegetables and the beef. So I think I'll put a scoop of this powder in with the noodles. When I rehydrate, it'll rehydrate with that flavor. That should be good. What do you think? So let's cut this into 8s. Let's pack it that way. I think that's going to reconstitute nicely. And I'll just put 1/8 of a cup in there, just to give it some flavor when we reconstitute. That might come out pretty nice, don't you think? Okay, so all that's left now is to open these back up, stick an O2 absorber in them, and label them, and heat seal them. So I'll get busy with that, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, I now have a table full of products, and I need to make my accessory pack, which I have a separate video on that, so if I remember I'll put it in the description. But if you just search my videos, accessory pack, John and Bibbs accessory pack, I got to put those together. Then I'll do a separate video showing how I get all of this in a bag, because a few people have asked me how do I get them in a bag. So I want to show you my technique. So next thing you see on this is we'll be opening one of those bags and doing a taste test. I'll see you then. Okay, now for the taste test. Let's open her up. And I'm hungry, so hopefully this is going to hit the spot. Let's see what I packed in here. My pudding, my accessory pack, my noodles, my beef, and my egg roll. Nope, nothing else. No surprise like $1 million or anything like that. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my egg roll going. If you haven't seen, I've done a video on freeze drying and reconstituting egg rolls. You might want to check that out. It's my favorite snack. I can't keep them in stock because they're just so easy to go to. Alright, so there's a freeze-dried egg roll. So what I do, well, let's open up my accessory pack because I need my fork. Let's see, we got salt and pepper. We got lemon sweet tea for a drink. A knife and a fork. I know I got a straw here somewhere that came in there. Yeah, and a straw for my drink. Alright. So what I do is in the pouch, I put some hot water. Then I take the egg roll that's freeze dried, and like you'll see in the video that has holes in them that I poked after I baked them, and I stick it in the water, and I just hold it underwater until the bubbles stop coming up through those holes that I poked in it. It don't take long. Alright, now fish it out. And if you got a paper towel handy, I like to just dab it on the paper towel to get some of that water off of the outside of the egg roll. And we'll put that there and just let that sit for a minute. Alright, now let's do our beef. Take our O2 absorber out. Now, rather than waste that water that I just used for my egg roll, I'm going to go ahead and pour that into my beef. Let that soak up. I've just put enough in there, probably only about a half a cup maybe. Seal that up. Give it a good shake. Set it off to the side. There's our beef. Noodles. Yeah, I had a problem with these. I forgot to put the O2 absorber in them. So I had to cut them all open, which made my top flap very small. And now might be a problem getting into them and still retaining the Ziplock. But we did it. Alright, so there's my noodles. Take out the O2. Remember we put some powder in that too. I'm going to reuse the rest of that water. And put some more in there. Ziplock that shut. Hopefully the Ziplock will work. And I'm going to lay that down so that those noodles sit in the water. Not done ramen noodles before, but it should work. The theory's there, isn't it? Alright. So that leaves us our pudding. And today we have pistachio pudding. And I just kind of eyeball it when I add water to it. I mean, we should end up, with my measurements, I should end up with about a half a cup of pudding. So I'll put close to half a cup of water in there. A little bit less for now. Ziplock that shut. Give that a good knead. Ah! I didn't have it Ziplock shut. Dadgummit, John. There's a good blooper for you. Alright. Give that a good knead. Hopefully I'll still have enough water in there. We'll see. I don't want to do too much water because it go all runny. I don't like runny pudding. I hope you guys got a good laugh out of that. You have to knead the water down into these bottom folds of the gusset. Otherwise, the powder doesn't get any water. All right, that's filling pretty good. And we'll put that off to the side. And we'll get another, top up our water here. Open up our sweet tea. Now these bags I got off Amazon, and I know for a fact that that Ziplock does not do an airtight seal. Right on the corners, it don't seal for some reason. So, if you can, always go with a trusted supplier on those. So I'm definitely not going to shake that because I just know for a fact, if I roll that over, maybe, I know for a fact that that Ziplock leaks. There you go. There's my drink. Now I'm going to open that up again. Easier said than done. There. And I'm going to take this straw. This is a stirring stick I got from Walmart. I'm going to try and poke a hole. Actually, maybe I can use my fork. Yeah, that works pretty good. Poke a hole in that. Put that in there, and then I can zip it back up. Shut. There you go. There's our drink. We got salt and pepper left. Water in there. Alright. So, shall we dish up anything? Let's dish up our pudding. See how that came out after my big blooper. Oh yeah, that looks pretty good. I love pistachio pudding. Now these pistachios got nuts in it, not very many. And I'm an old man, so I'm not too worried about the long-term storage of that. But if you wanted to get 25 years and you were worried about the nuts, you'd want to use another flavor that didn't have nuts in it. But if that lasts 5 years for me, that'd be great. Oh, my towelette. Forgot about my towelette. Alright. So let's get this open. Let's see how that has reconstituted. The main thing I don't want to worry about those carrots. And that beef. Done well. Now, the noodles mixed in with that sauce that I made. Now I'm just giving them a stir. Kind of loosen them up. And we'll see how those came out. Be nice if those reconstitute that easy. Alright, let's get that poured, that scooped out onto my tray. Actually, if I drain that water off, possibly for later use, might make it easier. Alright, then we can just do like that. Spread that out. We'll do the same with our beef. everything. I want to get the rest of those vegetables. Those are good. Alright. Now, let me get a close-up of that for my thumbnail. Look at that. Does that look good? Let me find out. Okay, here comes the taste test. We're going to eat this upside down. Let's see what that came out like. Nice piece of broccoli there. Not really a broccoli fan. And it tastes like broccoli. Let's see. And the noodles came out pretty good. They're not chewy. At least that bite wasn't. That's good. That's very good. I think I would have liked to have been able to make that have a sauce with it. Maybe, I don't know, what you guys think? Maybe I should have put the powder in with the beef and thickened it up before I freeze dried it. But everything reconstituted very nicely. Here's my egg roll. Look at that. The outside stays a little bit crunchy, and the inside reconstitutes beautifully. That is good. Yeah, I'm happy with this. Like I said, I'd like to have a little bit more gravy on that. But you need to add a lot of water for all those vegetables and stuff and the meat to soak up. So I'm just not... if you did the gravy, you'd have to do it separately. You just have to. Otherwise, you'd have to put so much water in to soak up all the vegetables and the meat that the gravy would be too thin like it was. So you'd want to reconstitute the gravy on its own, pour out the noodles, put your beef mixture, vegetable mixture on it, and then reconstitute the gravy in its own pouch and then pour that over the top. That'd be the ideal way to do it in hindsight. But we got to solve the, and that's probably because of the brown sugar, the explosion I got. I'll be honest with you. To me, that's no big deal. I just clean the freeze dryer. But to you, the viewer, you might not want to do that. Yeah, that came out very nice. The meat's a little bit tougher than it was when I freeze dried it, but it's definitely reconstituted. And it's not too tough. It's actually very nice. Good flavor to it. So, what are you thinking? Mongolian beef. I think it's winner. Take another bite of that egg roll. Have a sip of sweet lemon tea. The beef and the vegetables and the noodles, they all came up with their own texture very, very nicely. Now, I didn't overcook my carrots like I did in my pot roast. And they do have some texture, but because I did the fine mash sticks, I think that helped in the reconstitution of that versus big chunks of carrot. That's good. And surprisingly, I'm not a big broccoli fan, but the broccoli's not bad. It definitely retains some of its crunch, just like it would if you had cooked it. I mean, fresh, it does go a little soft. Egg rolls were a big surprise for me, that you could freeze dry them and reconstitute them. And oftentimes I'll just go into my stash and get out a pack of my freeze dried egg rolls and just eat an egg roll. Didn't need no salt and pepper on that. Just have some pudding. I always tell you, if you're making a side that you want to know that it's, going to come out very well, pudding just does so well. You would never know that was freeze-dried. It's so easy. I use instant pudding. It's so easy to do. And I got pistachio. I love pistachio pudding. Love chocolate pudding too. Now, what do you think? I surely enjoyed that. I was hungry. And that hit the spot, let me tell you. So, it's the end of the meal. Still got my drink going. Let's take this towelette. I don't know if you might not have seen these before, but they are little coins, they call them. They're in my Amazon store. And you pop them in water. Let them soak for a minute or two. If that was hot water, I'd just use some tap water. You'd end up with a nice warm towel to wipe down with. They actually absorb better with hot water. And then you just end up with a very nice towel. For wiping your hands. You could even use that to wash your dishes out in the wild. Or use it for hygiene, other types of hygiene. I really like these coins. So there you have it. Another great success from John and Bibbs. I hope you enjoyed it. Maybe got a chuckle or two. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.